everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The Sideline. My name is Rishi,
My name's Asher Hire.
and we have a lot to talk about. The championship games, NFL championship games were this Sunday. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the Broncos head coaching. We're going to talk about the Nuggets. All of that is coming up. We're going to start off with the Broncos head coaching because we are Broncos fans. This happened last Thursday.
Yeah, I think so.
But we didn't do it then, but we just wanted to talk about it all right now. But Nathaniel Hackett, he was the offensive coordinator of the Packers. So the three finalists, we said in the last episode, three finalists were Jonathan Gannon, Dan Quinn, and Hackett, but it turned out to be Kevin O'Connell, who was the Rams offensive coordinator, Dan Quinn and Hackett. And George Payton went with Hackett. And like they didn't even interview Dan Quinn or O'Connell. They didn't give them a second chance. The second they knew that Hackett, had other opportunities, they hired him, and I think that's a good sign that they knew immediately that he was the guy.
Yeah, for sure. And the Broncos came out with they're doing this kind of documentary style thing of the head coaching search, and they came out with their first episode this week, and so you can kind of see the Broncos brass. Or whoever was conducting that head coaching search really liked Hackett after the first interview. Just the energy he brought, his philosophy, putting players first, really playing the strengths of the players rather than putting in his own system and then hoping the players play like that. Yeah. So, I mean, the energy compared to Vic Fangio is just off the charts. The first thing you notice is how nice and how energetic he is. The press conference was really eye-opening and got us really excited. Got me excited at least, and I think all of Broncos country excited. And I mean, with the offensive-minded coach coming in, and it sounds like he's going to run kind of a Niners style offense, Shanahan style offense with outside zone runs, which is completely different than Shermer, who ran a lot of inside zone. So a lot of outside zone and then taking shots downfield, which, plays to the strengths of Drew Lock if they want to keep him. But I think we both are hoping for something bigger than Drew Lock.
Yeah. That was the first thing on everyone's mind. Like the second Hackett got hired, I think everyone was like, okay, cool. What about Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
Which I think obviously you have to think of that. I think it's unfair to Hackett that we all just think of that, but how can you not? I mean,
right.
With a franchise that's been so quarterback deprived for the last 6 seasons, to have an opportunity to get a Hall of Famer, you just have to think about that. Mm-hmm. But Hackett, like you said, the energy just in the press conference. I mean, he was smiling the entire time. The smile just lit up the room the second he walked in. He just seemed so happy about football, which I think is something that has been missing for the Broncos. Not just Vic. I don't know if we've ever had a coach that just seems this into football. He was so just happy talking about everything. He's a fun dude. I mean, when he was talking about his press conference, he was cracking jokes. He was interacting with the reporters, doing back and forths. I don't remember the last time.
Talking about Dr. Dre and Star Wars and stuff.
Yeah,
like that. And I think that'll really.
Asked him what Star Wars character he's like. I was he's a Star Wars geek. Dang,
I think that'll really connect with the players, and he said that they're going to play music, which is something Vic Fangio refused to do.
Yeah,
I guess he played his own old music, but I think Hackett really stressed the fact that he'll play, what the players want. Super team first approach. He even told the press conference interviewers and media members and stuff like that. He was saying it takes all of us to create a good football team. He's excited to meet all the media members, which I think is super cool. And
I'm very, very excited. I mean, like he still has to figure out his coaching staff, which is going to happen in the coming weeks. Probably after the Super Bowl is when we're going to get those hires. I have no clue who the offensive coordinator is. It was going to be or he wanted it to be the Packers tight end coach, who the Packers then they promoted to OC, so he's not coming over.
I think it was actually the O-line coach.
O-line coach, yeah.
And now it looks like the Packers tight end coach.
Yeah, I had it flipped. So hopefully if he brings over some more guys from the Packers, that'll be nice. It'll be a lot of familiarity with the system, so there's not any confusion about, what the system's going to be. Defensive coordinator, I think offensive coordinator, it won't matter as much because Hackett said he's going to be calling the plays. So that'll, that takes care of that. Like he's basically going to be the offensive coordinator himself. Defensive coordinator is a more interesting hire because the last 2 seasons, our head coach was basically the DC. And now I'm pretty sure Donatel's probably gone.
Yeah, it's not yet. It looks like, dude, why is my ear? It looks like it's going to be the Rams secondary coach, Ahiro Avero, I think is how you pronounce it. And he's worked with Vic Fangio in the past. Worked with the Niners for 6 years. He was with the Packers in 2016, and then he's been the Rams safeties and secondary coach. And he's the pass game coordinator as well for the Rams, which I don't know how that makes sense because he's been all defense until like now. He's the secondary coach and the pass game coordinator. So, I guess that's cool. Like he knows offense and stuff like that. So that'll be cool. I just hope he's good. I don't know much about him other than he's just the Rams secondary coach.
I think keeping Vic Fangio, like that system is going to be good. Yeah. I obviously it's not going to be the same. Like he's going to implement his own stuff. He's going to do his own things, but keeping Vic's kind of defensive philosophy, I think will help because this defense is like built for Vic Fangio and how he ran it. And it worked so well, especially against Kansas City, which is obviously like the main threat for Denver right now. So I would prefer someone from that tree, but like, I don't know who else, like the Efero. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but I
think it's just Avero. Yeah.
Avera. He is the only name that I've really heard. I've seen Wade Phillips thrown out there.
Really?
I don't know how likely that is. Maybe
is he like going on like 95 now?
Yeah, he's old. He says he's ready, but like man, he's getting up there with age.
Yeah.
I don't know if
he's only 74.
Really?
I thought he was in his 80s by now.
That's like Vic's age.
I know, right?
So, well, maybe not. But I from what all the reporters are saying, it doesn't seem like he's likely. I would love Wade Phillips back. I don't know why we got rid of him in the first place. I think that should have been the first sign that Vance Joseph was kind of off his rocker. Get rid of the greatest defensive coordinator in NFL history. So that's the other name I've heard. I've heard the Don Martinelli. He's the Ravens defensive coordinator. His name thrown out there. So
Wink.
Yeah.
So, but it seems like it's most likely Ahiro Avero.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I thought the offensive coordinator was going to be the Stenovich guy, and I thought Dan Quinn was going to be the head coach. So 0 for 2. But yeah, it's interesting, and I'm super excited for the next year. Hopefully, like if it's not Rodgers or Wilson, I'm fine with Drew Lock. And I think this team was ready to take the next step. I hope bring in some other free agents. And we'll see. Yeah.
I'm really excited because I think going into the draft is when these trades are probably going to happen, if they do happen at all. So that like April is going to be an absolute whirlwind for Denver fans because all the buzz, even right now, is that Aaron Rodgers wants to come to Denver. Like every single reporter.
I could actually see it coming earlier. Like if you remember last year, Matt Stafford got traded January 30th. So like yesterday. I mean, it happened before the Super Bowl last year with Stafford and with Rodgers saying he's going to wait or he's going to announce his decision before March, which is he'll know Devontae Adams' whole situation, if they're going to franchise tag him or what they're going to do. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow he goes on the Pat McAfee show and he, makes up his mind. Probably not, but,
yeah,
give it 2 weeks, 3 weeks, could be a Bronco by then. But I mean, like April and March and stuff is when a lot of stuff happens. So could very well be then too.
Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking that it might happen then because of the Devontae Adams stuff. Like we have somewhat of an idea of what Aaron Rodgers wants to do. I have no clue what's going to happen with Devontae Adams. I don't know if he's going to stay in Green Bay. I don't know if he's going to leave. I don't know if he does want to leave, if Green Bay's going to be like, no, you can't, and franchise tag him, and then he's stuck there and they have to trade him, or he's just going to hold out. So that's going to be a really interesting situation. If he does want to leave and he just only wants to play with Rodgers, and Rodgers does want to come to Denver, then like that's going to be the most.
I would take Devontae Adams.
Like that'd be the most. Like we're gonna have to give up Jerry Jeudy. Like that's going to have to happen. And I probably not another receiver, but like they're a pick and a lot of picks. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that situation plays out.
But I would do it. Really, whatever. I'm fine with whatever really offer. Like 3 first-round picks and Jerry Jeudy, I would do that.
Yeah, 100%.
I just think to have 3 top 5, arguably top 5 quarterbacks and like top 8, I guess, top 9, 10 with Carr, 4 in the same division. I mean, it's insane. Like you could have Mahomes, Herbert, Rodgers, and then you can put me out there for the Raiders and it'd still be the best quarterback division in history. Like,
it's going to be insane. Like the AFC West next year is going to be so incredibly tough.
Yeah.
Because the Raiders, we'll talk about we'll touch on some of the other hires. I don't know how they're going to do with Josh McDaniels, but I mean, Derek Carr has been so solid the last 3-4 seasons. Like even him is going to just cause so many problems. It's just, oh my God. And one thing that I don't understand about, like, I was talking about this with my brother yesterday. I don't understand about like what a lot of Packers reporters mostly are saying, like, oh, why would Rodgers leave? Like if Brady is retiring, which I think he probably will. If Brady does retire, then the NFC is going to have like a wide open lane to the championship game. Like Rodgers would easily be the best quarterback in the NFC. Like there'd be no offense that could stop. There's no defense that could stop the Packers offense, and the Packers defense would not have to play anybody elite like that. But like even if he stays there, like the Rams are still in the NFC. If he gets traded anywhere else in the NFC, like if he goes to say like the 49ers, who I've heard they're going to trade Jimmy, but I doubt he goes to the Packers. Yeah. But if he goes to San Francisco, he's still going to have competition. He's still going to have Kyler Murray and Stafford, who's now in the Super Bowl. You go to Pittsburgh, you're going to have Joe Burrow, who's in the Super Bowl. You're going to have Lamar Jackson, who won an MVP.
And the Browns are solid, too.
Yeah, and the Browns, who are good.
Yeah.
Like, if you come to Denver, obviously we talked about that. Like, anywhere you go, there's going to be competition.
Yeah,
anywhere
I would say the most like reasonable trade, I guess, could be the Colts. Carson Wentz going to the Packers, maybe. And then obviously that division is pretty rough right now, with the exception of the Titans. So I mean, I could see that. I hope it doesn't happen. Like, obviously, I hope he comes to Denver. I mean, we need him with this division we're in. Like,
yeah.
I hope he like looks at this as like, fun competition instead of just I'm gonna ease my way to the Super Bowl. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but I think you also have to look at it like Denver almost beat like Denver already did. They did beat the Chargers with Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock. Like
blew out the Chargers.
They blew out. Yeah, it wasn't even close. That defense dominated them, and they almost beat the Chiefs if it wasn't for a red zone fumble. And if it wasn't for another red zone fumble, they beat the Bengals.
I mean, we hung with the Chiefs both times.
Yeah,
like the first game, I think the Broncos had more yards and
we completely outplayed them.
Yeah,
they just like
Vic Fangio's decisions with
whatever
with
going forward downs and challenges and all that. But they Denver has competed in this division the last 2 to 3 seasons with every single team,
but they just
without any quarterback play. So it'll happen. Like if you come here, you're going to be fine. Like that competition isn't going to matter. So the competition thing doesn't make sense to me because it's going to happen everywhere. But I do understand that this would probably be the hardest place just because of Herbert and Mahomes both.
All right. Yeah, I'm excited. If Rodgers or Russell don't come to Denver, I'm going to be heartbroken, dude. Like all these reporters are just teasing us with the Broncos are going to get a star quarterback and stuff like that. And I don't know, dude. Apparently Rodgers had a good conversation with LaFleur the past few days. And like the Packers are cautiously optimistic that he might return. That's what Rappaport said on the McAfee show. So we'll see. But it's like, you never know with these. Like, how much does Rappaport and Schefter even really know?
Yeah,
like, I don't
mean, Schefter apparently doesn't know anything.
I know. Apparently, he just jumps. Schefter wanted Rodgers on the Broncos last year.
Schefter and Mark Schlereth had me like, oh my God, in tears last year. I was like, "Are you serious?"
Dude, I literally thought for like 2 hours of that night. I remember where I was. I was going to a Nuggets game, and like. That entire 2 hours, I'm like, oh my God, like there's Aaron Rodgers going to be a Bronco. And then it just, nothing happened.
Never happened. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of false stuff that comes out. And until the Denver Broncos Twitter account tweets out, welcome to Denver, Aaron Rodgers.
I know, right? Or like Rodgers, like, dude, that'd be so sick if Rodgers says like, the college recruitment where they put like hats out on the table. Imagine there's like a Colts and Broncos, Steelers, Niners hat, and he just like picks the Broncos.
Imagine he does like the fake thing that some college kids do where they're like, pull out a hat out of nowhere. He pulls out like a Tampa Bay hat.
I know he stands up, takes off like a. Oh my God. That would be cool, but you still need. He's not a free agent though, so you still need to trade. So that wouldn't happen, unfortunately. And like, there can't really be like
no trade clause, so I mean, he can't choose.
Yeah, that's true.
Where he wants to go,
but I think like Schefter or Rappaport would tweet out like the trade before, like if there's a LeBron Heat, situation. I forget what that whole thing was called.
The decision.
The decision, yeah. Like I feel like a trade would come out before Rodgers does something like that. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he just announces on Pat McAfee. He's like, "Yeah, I've been traded for Jerry Jeudy and 2 first rounders."
I saw a Bleacher Report say that like one of the trades that Denver could do would be Drew Lock and like 2 first rounders. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like I'd do that for Kirk Cousins. Like,
please. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they would do that with Jordan. They need to play Jordan Love because that's the guy they pick. That's their guy. They're not going to just waste that pick. Like how you evaluate quarterbacks is how you get a good job. John Elway was fired because of that. Yeah, we'll see. Think we can move on to the Nuggets now. As Denver fans, we'll start with Denver sports stuff first. And the Nuggets have been on fire, and I am excited, super excited with this new bench without Campazzo last night against the Bucks.
Oh my gosh.
Fully healthy Bucks, by the way, who are like 19-4 with Giannis, Middleton, and Drew, and the Nuggets beat them by 36.
So
that was fun.
that was. I mean, I don't know what it is in Milwaukee. I mean, we always just
I know.
shoot the lights out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like,
yeah, I mean, it's kind of a, like, I guess you could say fluky win with how well they shot from three, because that's it's not going to happen the rest of the season. They're not going to shoot 55% from three or whatever. No. But also, like, say you shot 38% from three, you still win this game.
Yeah. And that's the way the Bucks play. Like, even Malone said it after the game. He's like the Bucks, they shrink you in the paint. Like, they want you shooting threes. Mm-hmm. They're gonna give up a lot of open looks. It's just their defense. It's how Bud plays. I don't know why. I don't know how it works. I don't know how they won the championship playing like that. But they do just normally give up a lot of threes. Mm-hmm. But like, even then, the fact that we were able to exploit it so well, and the fact that the bench was able to exploit it so well, that's very, very exciting to see. I think the Bones Highland at the point guard has worked very well through 2 games. Bryn Forbes has slowly started to come around. He works a lot more on ball than I thought. Like,
I know. Like, he'll be like handling the ball, coming around screens and like pulling up and stuff.
Yeah, like I did not know he did that. Yeah. I thought he was strictly like catch and shoot or coming off screens and shooting immediately, which he has done, and he's shot well off those. But like I've very much enjoyed that, because him being able to make open threes is something that we haven't had really since like Malik Beasley. Right. Like, obviously counting out Jamal Murray, Michael Porter, and Jokic.
Like a pure catch and shoot.
This is a pure shooter we haven't had since Malik Beasley. So that's nice. Bones he played really well last night. He just got an Under Armour endorsement as well.
He did. The busy ones coming out.
Yes.
Dude, his playmaking was really good.
I mean, I saw it in Summer League. Like, I tweeted out, I was like, Bones is he's a point guard. Like, you can't, there's no way you take the ball out of his hands and he's still this effective. And I guess I was right, because at the point guard position, I mean, he's still making threes, still working off ball, but him as a playmaker and him like initiating the offense, it works so much better, because you actually have somebody to put pressure on the defense in the paint and a guy who can score, which Facu just like wasn't. I mean, I feel like we're just hating on him all the time, but like he's just not that type of guy. Like, he's not a guy who's gonna, make shots. He's a passer, and if they play him to pass, the bench offense just bogs down too much. And I think that it took Malone a while, but something that's good about him is that he always, sooner than later, but it's mostly later, he will make the right choice, and it won't be too late to make that choice.
True.
He'll always eventually figure it out. He just takes his time while doing it, and it's worked very well. I really like it. Austin Rivers, I gotta give him props. He has been playing incredible. Sure.
I think I saw a stat or something that he's like 3rd in the league in catch and shoot percentage from the corner 3.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, he's like automatic from the corners.
Yeah. He is. And he had this like really quick first step that I've been seeing, like where he does that like jab, pump fake, but then his first step to the hoop is super quick, and he finishes pretty well around the
he's been finishing at the rim a lot better than before. Like that. So him playing well obviously helps a ton, especially because he's not like a bad defender. Like I'd say he's an average to slightly above average defender, which very much helps out, because Bones and Bryn Forbes are not good.
It's tough watching Forbes.
It's not the greatest. But like it having somebody to take on the premier matchup is good. Zeke Naji has played incredible. I think I don't know how you can take him out of the rotation now. I think that he's just I think he's too good at this point.
JaMychal Green had a good game.
He had a good game. Boogie, DeMarcus Cousins, like he played well in those first 3 games. He went, well, I guess first 4, he went the Pistons, and then he went the Nets, and the Pelicans.
Yeah.
Those 4 games were, well, the first 2 Pistons games weren't very good, but the 2 after, the Nets game was really good, and it was a classic Boogie game where he got ejected on something really stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Pelicans game was also pretty good. Like I love his rebounding. I think that you might have to sign him to that last roster spot full time, and then based on matchups. Oh, Jesus Christ! Sorry, that's my laundry. It's based on matchups. You might have to play him, and like him or Jermichael Green with that, because Zeke Naji has played too well to take him out.
Yeah,
he's shooting 51% on threes, which is
it's wild,
insane.
And he makes contested ones too.
Yeah, if he's set, he's gonna because he's 6'10", 6'11". He has a really high release point. I don't know what the coaches at Arizona were doing, because
I know, because he didn't shoot.
He didn't shoot at all in college.
But his rookie year, he came in and he shot the lights out.
Yeah, like he shot 40% from three his rookie season on a decent amount of attempts. Like, so shout out to the Nuggets scouting team for seeing that. So like the bench has slowly but surely come together, and they've been very good. Obviously,
and then
Jokic.
Yeah, I know. We haven't even been talking about Jokic.
He's just.
I mean,
he's
the best player in the league.
I don't know how you can watch him and not come away with that conclusion at this point. Like, I know we're Nuggets fans, but I mean, he controls the game at a different level than anybody in the league. He is the best post-up player in the NBA. Like, if you look at it, the only person who averages more points per post-up is, of course, Joel Embiid. But Nikola Jokic shoots 60% on his post-ups compared to 45%, which is still good for Embiid, but 60% is just insane.
Yeah.
He's
obviously the best playmaker in the league, the best passer in the league, and he can come out and shoot from three. And he's got great hands and touch around the rim for offensive rebounds and stuff. Even when he doesn't have to jump, he just, kind of just tips it to himself 3 or 4 times and then gets it to go. I mean, he doesn't even have to. 7 for 9. He took 9 shots this game and was the best player in the NBA. Like, there wouldn't be a single player who played better than he did, I don't think, this game, unless Curry made like 10 threes. But I mean, 15 assists, insane. Like, he had 8 in the first quarter.
Yeah. I mean, he just absolutely picked them apart.
I mean, what the Nuggets are making, like, he always throws to open looks and stuff. So, like, when they're actually making their open looks, you can see he can probably average like 12, 13 assists per game if they would actually make shots that they should make. I mean, 15 was kind of crazy. I mean, 53% from 3 is unrealistic.
Yeah.
But
I mean, everybody was.
But they were open looks. Yeah.
Marcus Howard in 4th was just like hilarious. Like, he was pulling the second he touched it, and he was draining them. That's when I was like, all right, this is. Can't expect this all the time.
And I was listening to the Bucks announcers. Like, I felt their pain, man. It was like, are they ever gonna miss a 3?
That's how we feel when we play the Jazz. Dude.
I know, the Jazz, bro.
Just don't miss. It's like every time we play Milwaukee, it happens. It's so strange. But like Jokic, he's the thing that I don't get with like the NBA discourse is like, if I say that Nikola Jokic is the best player in the NBA, that apparently to everybody else means that I'm putting down the rest of the NBA.
I know.
Like, if I say Nikola Jokic is the best player in the NBA, that does not mean that I think Joel Embiid is garbage. Doesn't mean that I think LeBron is garbage. Doesn't mean that I think Giannis sucks. It just means I think that Jokic is better. That's it. Like, it had the same thing with the all-time debate. Like, anytime you mention, I think MJ's the GOAT, I think LeBron's the GOAT, the opposite is just like, so you're saying that LeBron sucks or MJ sucks? No, I'm not. I never said that.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it's so hard to argue it. And I think that Nuggets and Sixers fans both have to get better at this. Like, anytime you mention one, for whatever reason, we always bring up the other. Like, just enjoy both of them as they are, please.
But Jokic is better.
I think Jokic is better. I'm gonna say Jokic is better, but
I know, Embiid is played. He's a top 5 player right now. he's
I
playing.
think the top 3 players in the league are. I think it goes Jokic, Giannis, and then Embiid. I think that's the top 3, and
that's fair.
Embiid is playing at that level. Like,
yeah,
I feel bad for him because he was incredible last year. I mean, he had the best center. I mean, he had one of the best seasons of all time by a center. It just Jokic had a better one somehow, and then Embiid got better this year, but Jokic also got better, so it didn't matter. Like, Embiid's biggest like knock on him was that he wasn't a good playmaker. He was kind of a black hole in the post. He has improved that tremendously this season.
He has.
He's become a much better playmaker. And Jokic's knock was that he was a bad defender. And this season, he's becoming a good defender. Like, I'd say he's a good defender. Like, I'd say Joel Embiid is a good playmaker. Now, like, they both have worked on their flaws and they've become better at it.
They're still not like Embiid's not a great playmaker, and Jokic is not a great defender. But yeah, I mean, they're both amazing. They both worked on their games. But I just think watching these games, I don't know how you can just say anyone is better than Jokic. Like, sure, Giannis had 11 more points. He had 29 points, but like, you can watch the game and it was all ISOs by Giannis.
Yeah.
Less than 50% shooting. It was ISO pull-ups, brick-in threes, and rim runs to the rim. And you can just tell like how Jokic is just so much better at like winning, like, having the team like be in position to win games.
Yeah.
I guess like that game by Giannis was pretty rough. I would say like getting his team involved and stuff like that.
Yeah. Like it was, he had 22 points in the first half, but he had 0 assists.
Yeah, and he had 2 assists.
And like that's not tip. Like, he averages like 6 a game.
Yeah, I know. That was a bad Giannis game. A bad Giannis game is 29 points, which is insane. So
yeah. I mean, it's like it was great. Like, I remember I was like, oh, Jokic had a bad game this one time, and I looked at his stat line. He was like, oh, he had 28 points, 21 rebounds, and 9 assists.
He had that bad week, I think of.
Yeah.
But he still averaged like 27 and like 15 or something like that, but his shooting percentages were down, but like those numbers were still wild.
He's I think it's Denver has to start like appreciating what we're watching. Like, this is not only is this like the best season that a Nuggets player has ever had, it's one of the best seasons in NBA history, and like we just have to accept that the national media is just not going to give him his respect. Like, we haven't gotten it even when Melo was here. Like, why are you expecting it going to change now? Just appreciate what we have. Like, obviously it's going to get frustrating. Like, I get frustrated that no one talks about it, but we got to start coming to terms that it's just not going to happen until we make the finals. It's not going to happen. It didn't happen with Giannis until he won the finals. So like, we just got to deal with it. But
I mean, he's gonna win back-to-back MVPs most likely.
I mean, we're tied in losses with the Jazz for the 4th seed. We play them on Wednesday, so if we win that, we're the 4th seed, which is ridiculous.
Which is enough to win MVP, I think.
Yeah, especially considering that Michael Porter and Jamal Murray have been out all season up until this point. I guess there is little news on those. On at least Michael Porter Jr. The Nuggets applied for a disabled player exception, which basically means that his salary cap hit doesn't apply. It doesn't open up a roster spot. I thought it did, but it doesn't. It just means that his salary cap hit doesn't matter, which, I mean, he's still on his rookie deal. His extension doesn't kick in until next season. So, I mean, it's $2.7 million. It's not going to do much.
But this doesn't mean he's out for the year or anything. No,
it's just like, to me, it means that they don't think he'll be back in time for the playoffs, which isn't like surprising. But all the reporters have been saying that there's still optimism he can return. So this is just them doing their due diligence. But I think it's them being as safe as possible with his back, which I agree with that decision. The Jamal Murray, it's still, people still think like after All-Star break, which is not that far away.
I know, like
only a few weeks, so we're getting closer. I'm like, I was like last week over the weekend, I was like, I just suddenly remembered. I was like, wait, we have Michael Porter Jr. he still exists.
Yeah.
And I watched his highlights from last season. I'm like, holy crap. Like, I forgot how athletic he is, because like you don't see it. He doesn't like display his athleticism. He's still working on that. But when he does display it, like, I mean, he's quick to the rim. He can dunk over anybody. He jumps over everyone when he shoots. He's a great help side defender. Like, he's good on blocking from the weak side. Like, that stuff would be so helpful right now.
I know.
I mean, even though
I forgot about the defensive experience, like second year Michael Porter Jr. and the experience on defense. I kind of forgot how horrible he was, but he got better last year.
Yeah. Like, oh my God. Like the playoffs against the Jazz. Oh, holy Jesus, that was rough to watch.
Yeah.
Last year he got better. And this year, I mean, even with whatever happened with his back, he was good. So I'm like, I don't think he's coming back this season with the disabled player exception news. But if he does come back and Jamal Murray is like fully ramped up in time for the postseason, like, I don't know if there's a team I'd pick to win the championship other than Denver. Like, the way they're playing right now, you add 2 all-star caliber players to that. I mean, like, it's over. Like, I mean, what are you going to do? So, very excited.
Yep.
Very, very excited.
I am too.
Oh, hold on. We should also mention this. Hopefully this episode goes up on Tuesday. So the day of the Nuggets versus Timberwolves, we're going to try and live stream after the game our reactions, just kind of do like a post-game report kind of thing. Just so we can kind of get that content out like when it happens, and we don't have to use episodes on it to just talk about games, because like we could do it for football because it's just once a week, but we can't, like, every episode of this, we can't keep talking about just the Nuggets and take up that much time. So we're going to do live streams about it. I don't know how long they'll be. We're going to experiment with that, see how it works. So just be on the lookout for that. And
it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
And hopefully once a bigger audience starts building, like, you know, they can chat in the live stream and stuff, and make it fun that way.
That is the plan. We'll talk about a lot of stuff.
Football time.
Yes.
Now, AFC Championship Weekend. I guess, never mind. I was going to say the 2 teams I wasn't expecting to win one. But I did pick the Rams. But the Bengals, that was definitely unexpected. I literally thought they were just not going to win this game. And it showed in the first half, man. I mean, dude, that first half was,
oh man,
it was like rough to watch.
I
wanted a good game, and it was just a Chiefs avalanche. Like,
yeah.
Speaking of the Avalanche, by the way, they've won 10 in a row and are like 33-8. I know we have to talk about them, but
they have an 18-game home win streak.
I know, they're the best team all time in the NHL. So, but anyways, the Chiefs avalanche in the first half was just wild, like just completely unstoppable.
Yeah.
Mahomes was on, and play calling was on. Tyreek Hill was on. Travis Kelce. Everything was going well until the man Eli Apple had to tackle Tyreek Hill at the goal line to keep it a 2-possession game, 11-point game. So, like, you know, just a touchdown and a field goal. And I think that was pretty much the turning point. I think the Chiefs, I don't know really what they were. That was a horrible decision by Mahomes and Reed.
Yeah.
Do that.
I think Mahomes thought they still had a timeout, which is why he did it. Because you could see after the play, he was trying to call timeout, but he's like, "Oh, we don't have any." But I mean, still, like, you have 5 seconds and you throw outside instead of just
It was a weird route.
Very, very weird decision, like all around. And like I was talking with my friends during this, and I was like we completely expected the Chiefs to win. I mean, the way they played in the first half, I mean, they looked unstoppable. So we were like, oh, that's a huge stop, but I mean, it won't matter. But it did. Like, that was literally the game right there.
Yeah. And I thought, like, at that point when it was 21-10 and they're inside the 5, like, they had 1 minute left in the first half, and you just knew they were going to score. Like, literally everyone knew that is 13 seconds is too much time. 1 minute. is way too much time.
Yeah.
So I thought they were going to go up 28-10 going into half, and then they get the ball back, and then they go up like 35-10. I mean, I thought it was over. And then that play happened, and it gives the Bengals the momentum. Like, I thought it was at least going to be a 14-point game. You know, the Chiefs go in up 14. They just hit the field goal. They get the ball back. They just drove down the field easily. So, yeah, I thought that was over. And then, but the Eli Apple makes the tackle. The Bengals get off the field, and all of a sudden they get the momentum. And momentum in football is super real.
Huge.
And they carried that in the second half, as they did the week 17 or 16 meeting, whatever that was. Down 11, and they came back. I don't know if you have anything else to say about the first half before we get into the second half.
Very that first half was so similar to the first game that they played in Cincinnati. Like, the Chiefs were just getting down the field at will, and Cincinnati they had no answer. They couldn't do anything to stop. And like, it looked like because it was one of those games where, like, every time Mahomes dropped back, somebody was wide open. I mean, wide open. I'm like, how are you leaving like Kelsey one-on-one with a linebacker or something? Like, you're doubling, but you're leaving a safety up high instead of bracketing him. It was such a weird game plan in the first half, and they fixed it completely in the second half, which is
and incredible. I mean, Mahomes said those crazy plays too, how he scrambled around and then found Kelsey in the end zone, and then those scramble around plays in the second half didn't work at all. And
they put a spy on him. That was huge. Like,
they put like Hubbard as a spy.
Like, in the first half, I don't know why they would drop 8 and they would only rush 3, and they just give Mahomes all day in the backfield to just survey the situation and throw. But in the second half, they still rushed 3, but they put a spy. So the second he went out of the pocket, then it became 4, and he couldn't do all of that.
And I think they got more exotic, I think, with their blitzes, like that interception Mahomes threw on that like RPO screen pass, or the whatever. DJ Hill put his hands up and knocked it. It still would have been a pick if it got through Hill. Hendrickson was right there, by the way, and you can see he jumped over, like, he had his hands up. He was probably going to pick that off, and that was because Hendrickson dropped in coverage to cover that screen, and then someone else on the other side, a linebacker or something, came into blitz. So Hendrickson dropped, the other guy came in and blitz, and then and end up in a double clutch by Mahomes, and then an interception.
Yeah, that play was huge.
Yeah,
I mean, they get they went to the red zone, but they had to settle for a field goal, and that was so disappointing because, like, you scored a touchdown. It's a 1-possession game, but I mean, you keep it at 1 possession, but you need a touchdown and 2 points. But like, getting a pick that changed the entire momentum of the game, and like that, the Bengals offense in the third quarter was like, I mean, it was how the Chiefs were in the first half. It was just unstoppable. They were getting down the field at will the entire time.
And taking a lot of time too. Yeah, I mean, that interception resulted in that Jamar Chase. Was that the Jamar Chase touchdown?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. And he just went up, and I don't know, what they were doing with the just one-on-one coverage against Chase.
I think the Bengals saw, like, they tried to do that play the play before. But I think they
tried doing that in the first half too.
Yeah.
Like, Burrow threw up like 2, 1 to Higgins, 1 to Chase.
Yeah.
And then they did again here, and it worked.
Because Burrow knew it was 1-on-1, so he threw it more outside. But Burrow thought that it was double covered, so he threw it more outside. Chase thought it was single. He said Chase knew it was single coverage, so he went like straight, like a more straight fade. But then they saw that it was the same play, so that they just ran the same coverage. They ran the same play again, and they were on the same page. And like, Jamar Chase, man, you could see his impact in the game, even when he was double covered. Like, that's how you know how great a receiver is. Like, he was double covered the entire game, and his impact was still so huge because like, that means T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd were wide open, and like the screens work so well because they're so afraid of Tyreek or Jamar Chase going down the field. Like,
Yeah.
For a rookie to have that much impact on a game is almost unheard of, especially at the wideout position. Like,
yeah,
I've never seen something like that.
And that's what I've been saying. I think he's the best receiver in the league already. And I think he'll continue to be that. Just how fast he is and how elusive he is and route running and jump ball ability. I mean, he's insane.
Yeah. I thought it's just crazy. People were labeling him as a bust after he didn't play for 2 seasons.
Yeah.
He didn't play for 2 years.
Like dropping balls in the preseason.
That was so stupid.
Yeah. Burrow played pretty well too. Just what he can do, like there won't be really any like throws that are just like, wow, like what a throw or whatever. I mean, there will, like, they're accurate and stuff. But what he can do, like, he's just so slippery in the pocket. I mean, getting away from Chris Jones, like, who does that? Like, twice on the same play, pretty much. I mean, yeah, just his ability to run and make, Mahomes type plays running out of the pocket. Just so hard to get him down on the ground.
Yeah.
So he's great, and what he could do, obviously pre-snap too, just so smart, so accurate.
Yeah. I honestly don't know. Like, I don't know if I've seen a rookie quarterback as smart as him in a very long time. Like, he knows everything. Like, everything. It's insane. What he does pre-snap in terms of checking, protect, because like that offensive line is horrible, and we'll get into it when we preview the next game. That's not the Super Bowl, not the Super Bowl. When we preview the Super Bowl, we'll talk about it. But like that offensive line, the first half was just like every single time from the right side, someone was getting through, every single time. And then in the second half, they started Burrow started changing the protection so much that the Chiefs could not get any pressure on him. Like, they got pressure, but he would still be able to get away anyway. Like, his mind was working like 2 steps ahead the entire time, which for a second-year player is crazy.
Yeah, and then on the Chiefs side of things, in that second half, I mean, obviously great adjustment by the Bengals, like they did in the first game. I don't really know what they did, to be honest. Like, I haven't really looked into that, too much a day after. I
think they just like played harder. Like that I think that's honestly what, like, they were just stickier in coverage. Like they were. Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, everyone was pretty covered, and Mahomes really, like, there wasn't much to go to. And then, like, I don't know. And then the play calling too. When was this drive? Was it the field? Yeah, the field goal drive at the end of the game. I thought the game was over. I thought the Chiefs were going to score a touchdown.
Oh yeah.
Before overtime, because they got into the 4-yard line. It was 1st and goal at the Cincinnati 5, with 1:30 on the clock, and Cincinnati only had 1 timeout left. So I thought they were just going to melt the clock and then run it in, but they didn't run.
They threw it.
Yeah. You've been averaging 6 to 7 yards per. Dude, the Bengals could not stop the run at all.
Anything against
McKinnon, Edwards-Helaire, Hardman had 2 carries, and they couldn't stop him. And then Andy Reid just passes, like, when you haven't been able to pass this entire half, and Mahomes gets sacked twice.
Almost took him out of field goal range.
I know, and almost fumbled the ball away.
They were in like chip shot, like you said, they were at the 5, and they ended up with a 44-yard field goal at 10.
Yeah,
that is horrible field management. Just horrible.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand I think Andy Reid said post game that, like, the game was on him, and he didn't put Mahomes in great position and stuff. Obviously, Mahomes, in the second half looked shaky. Like, he went back to this, like, thing that it was happening a little bit in the regular season, where he just misses throws, just simply misses throws. And then he scrambles out of the pocket when there's no pressure.
Yeah. And that interception, I mean, he should have thrown an interception on the first drive in overtime. I mean, he did, but like
that
the play before.
That's what I'm saying. That was an inaccurate ball to pretty open. Like, if he had thrown it accurately, it would have been a catch, and he threw way behind him.
And then he forced the next throw in double coverage. Like it was a good throw. It was accurate, but it was forced. Like and I think it was Chidobe Awuzie made a good play on the ball and just knocked it away. Like I really don't know what.
It was Bates. But yeah.
Oh, Bates. Yeah. Bates made a good play on the ball, and Von Bell was there to pick up. Like I was just a bad decision. I don't know what happened. Like
I don't know if there were players open, or if there was literally just no one open. But yeah, I mean, he did miss those throws, and then he was super shaky and stuff. I mean, he played like the greatest first half you could ever see out of a quarterback. He was like 18 for 21, 3 touchdowns in the first half. And then the second half, like 8 for 18. Like, I don't know how that happens. So I wouldn't say Mahomes like played a bad game, because I think he played a pretty good game when you take into account the first half.
Yeah.
But yeah, the questionable kind of decisions and then questionable playmaking was weird to see.
Yeah. And going into next year, this is when his insane contract extension comes into play. So his cap hit goes from $7 million this season to $36 million next season. So they're going to be strapped. They're going to be cash strapped. Like they're not going to be able. There's no way they're going to be able to retain Tyrann Mathieu. Like I don't think that's.
I don't know.
Can like think about the possibility of that, because he's gonna be extremely coveted. There's gonna be a lot of teams in need of a safety, and they're not gonna have the money to pay him.
I know Frank Clark's a free agent too.
Frank Clark, oh, that's huge. Like the defense is already a mess, and that secondary is horrible. But if you lose the leader of it, and you're forced to play Daniel Sorensen even more, I mean, the 2-point conversion. Oh my God, I need to talk about that. What was Daniel Sorensen doing? It was like a simple, like this is like a Madden play. Like it was slant flats.
And I think the CBS showed the stat, like the Bengals were like 1 for 7 on 2-point conversions this entire year. And I'm like, oh God, this isn't going to work. And then they do this simple play to like a practice squad receiver who's just elevated.
They do it to the punt returner, and he's fine. It was wide open. I don't know. Like Sorensen took the widest route. He expected to be picked, but I mean, you can't do a pick that close together. Like it's just not going to work. And
I don't know, something about this. I don't think the Chiefs really are that like good of a team, like talent wise. Like especially when you look at the defensive side of the ball, and then you look at offensively, you got two weapons offensively, pretty much. And so I don't know if they're super stacked team, but like the defense is weird. Like it feels like it's tough, right, to move the ball against them.
Yeah.
But then, you get into like 3rd and 7s, but then the other team always converts on like the 3rd and 7. But it's a tough conversion too. It's usually like the quarterback scrambling.
Yeah.
But it's like the Chiefs can never get off the field like when they need to. Yeah. Like when they absolutely need to. Like I don't know. It just feels like it's tough sledding. Like even for the Bills in the first half, they had to punt like 4 times when they hadn't punted in like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then the Bengals scored 3 or 10 points in the first half. So like, I don't know. Like it feels like it's a good defense, but at the same time they allow like 30 something points per playoff game. So I don't know.
It's insane. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. I really don't know what they're going to do. It's going to be, I like next season, I think like we talked about this last week, maybe like Mahomes next season is going to go off. Like he's going to have an incredible season. I don't know what they're going to do in the draft, but I wouldn't be surprised if they go wide receiver. I don't know if they have their 1st round pick, but if they do, I wouldn't be surprised to go wide receiver, because they need another weapon. And I think the second half really showed that. Like you take away Kelsey, you take away Hill, there's no third guy who's able to get open. There isn't. Like you need another guy. So that offense is going to be explosive, but man, that defense is going to be horrible. Like it might be like a season like the Texans last year, right? Like Deshaun Watson had an insane season. Their offense was great, but their defense just let everybody do whatever they want. So I think it might be something like that. They're going to win a lot more games because their defense isn't as bad as that, but they're still gonna be a playoff team. Probably still gonna win the division if depending on what happens with the Broncos and the Chargers. But like it's gonna be a rough off season.
Yeah,
for the Chiefs.
Yeah, and it's gonna be an interesting season upcoming too. Like, does Mahomes dude? I don't think he goes back to the 2018 Mahomes. Like, watching 2018 Mahomes highlights, bro, it's insane. Like, it's literally insane. Like, there's no other way to describe it, really.
Yeah.
And you just haven't seen that Mahomes this year at all. Like, really. Like, some of these throws, man, if you just put on the 2018 highlights, like,
it's insane.
And I forgot, like, I genuinely forgot, like, how amazing he was, like, with the style of play that he's being forced into playing now of, taking what's there, as the announcers always say, and, these short 8-yard, 5-yard gains to Kelsey and Hill and stuff. And then you hope the Hill can make a few guys miss in the sprint to the end zone, like the Bills game.
Yeah.
So, like, is he going to continue to play like that next season? Because obviously it didn't work well enough.
Yeah.
And like, are the teams going to look at what the Bengals did in the second half and continue to and play that exact defense next year? So is he going to continue to play like boring like that, or is he going to try to go back to gunslinging Mahomes?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's gonna be the Chiefs have, like, I mean, because of how dominant they've been in the last 4 seasons, like you kind of look at them and you're like, oh, they're gonna be fine. But like this team has a lot to do in the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot to figure out. I saw one guy on Twitter say, like, Mahomes could be like this generation's Brett Favre. Like, he's just an incredible gunslinger. He's got some of the most incredible arm talent you've ever seen. He wins one Super Bowl, he gets to another, and he can't get it, and then he just cannot do anything in the postseason after that. And I'm like, all right, it's like 5 seasons into his career. Let's slow down.
I was about to say it's his 4th year as a starter.
Let's slow down. But I mean, that, like, through 4 seasons, like, that's exactly what Brett Favre had done. Like, so yeah. It's not the worst comparison, but at the same time, like, I mean, you can't just
Patrick Mahomes and next Aaron Rodgers, who can never get another Super Bowl.
Can't get back. Like, no, like, I'm
not imagine that, bro. But I don't know. I don't see it. He's been the best playoff quarterback of all time.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. The second half was rough to watch, but
yeah.
It'll be interesting, man. Like, I genuinely have no idea what Mahomes is going to do. Like, I know he was slimmer in 2018. Is he going to try to slim down? Because I think he, like, buffed up because of how much he got roughed up in the Bucs Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So he buffed up, and he just doesn't, I don't know, just something about, he just doesn't have, like, the same, like, wiggle and stuff on his zip, really, on these throws. So I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know what he's thinking. We'll see. Nothing much more to say about that game, probably.
Yeah. I mean, it's just insane how good these playoffs have been, though. Like,
oh yeah, I know.
I mean, this game, it looked like it was finally going to end. Like, oh, it's a blowout. Like, finally it happened again. But then the Bengals are just like, we're going to win somehow.
Somehow they win. Like, the Raiders game, somehow they won. The Titans game, somehow they won. The Chiefs game, somehow they won.
The crazy thing is, right, like, they've had these, like, crazy comebacks, and a lot of the times when these crazy comebacks happen, like, the team that loses outplays the other one. It's just like a slew of bad luck or some, like, crazy fluke plays that happen. But no, the Bengals have outplayed all 3 of their opponents so far in the playoffs. Like, they have won their games. They haven't gotten lucky or anything. They have legitimately
the defense has forced these plays. I mean, the defense is good, dude. Like,
legit. They're legit.
They have a great front 4. They have good linebackers, and they have pretty good secondary too.
Yeah.
And it's a legit defense.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty stacked team overall. Other than O-line, I mean, I'm taking that wide receiver group over any other team.
Yeah.
quarterback is obviously great. The defense is great too, and the kicker is all of a sudden like Justin Tucker 2.0.
Yeah, that's the only comparison you can make. Like, especially with how clutch Tucker was his rookie season. You know, like what he did to the Broncos in the postseason and what he did to New England, what he did to the Niners. Like, the only thing that you can compare it to is Justin Tucker. Like, Evan McPherson, like, man, that's like that. Like, is he a Pro Bowler? I feel like Tucker
better be. I don't know.
I feel like Tucker has to be the AFC Pro Bowl kicker, but like,
that's true.
With how clutch he's been in the postseason, like, good Lord, like how many kickers in the league are you like confident from 50 that it's going in? There's a handful, like barely any.
I mean, it's Tucker, it's McPherson. I don't know. I don't know.
Like,
to be honest, I don't trust McManus. Like,
McManus from 50 inside 50, you chalk it up for McManus. Like, he's making it, but outside 50, like, I mean, almost every single kicker in the NFL, like, he's gonna struggle a little bit.
It's weird because he can bang through 65 yarders with ease, but then he's just not accurate. I guess you could say like Bucker maybe.
Bucker, Younghoe Koo.
Like Koo. But I don't know. Raider. I mean, even Matt Gay, who is the NFC Pro Bowl kicker, he missed in the Rams game.
Like, McPherson, I mean, he's, for a rookie to be that good is insane. Yeah. Like, in the regular season, he had like 4 or 5 game-winning kicks, and he's already had 2.
I know.
In the postseason. This is insane.
It's wild, and it's weird with kickers because they can have years kind of like this, and then they can fall off the next year. Like, I remember Blair Walsh was great, and then he had that whole incident, and then Dan Martin was really good, and then he went to the Vikings and sucked. But McPherson seems different. Like, he's just different as a kicker. He's different.
Yeah.
I mean, they got their kicker, which is valuable, as you can see.
Very valuable, especially in the postseason. Like,
every
single playoff run that's good has to have a good kicker. You just have to. Like, I mean, look at the Packers. I mean, they had a kick block, they had a punt block for a touchdown. Their postseason ended because of it. So that special teams is big.
Yeah. All right, Rams Niners. Before we get into the preview, this was another great game.
Yeah,
obviously, like every single one. And the Rams, like, I wasn't really expecting it. Like, they completely took away the Niners rushing attack. Like, Deebo Samuel was the leading rusher with 26 yards. So the front 7 of the Rams played really well. They put it in Jimmy G's hands to try to make plays, and he did not make plays. I mean, man, that end of the game drive with Jimmy G throwing it like this for the interception.
Yeah.
I mean, everything with Jimmy G is just, rough. Like, he throws it over the middle so many times too. He gave, Deebo Samuel an ambulance ball.
Oh yeah.
Killed Deebo Samuel.
He missed George Kittle early in the game, like wide open. Oh my God.
Yeah, I remember.
No, I mean, this game was like the epitome of why these teams made their trades in the offseason. Like, this game was why, like, Matthew Stafford, on his 2 touchdown throws, I mean, they were dimes, like perfectly thrown. And that's why you make the trade for Matt Stafford, because Jared Goff isn't making those throws. And watching Jimmy Garoppolo in a game like this is why you make the trade to go to number 3 and get Trey Lance. Like, that's why you do that. So this Niners offense, like, their run game is obviously their specialty, but to have a guy who can actually throw it now is going to be crazy. Yeah. I would also expect them to take a receiver in the draft, like, and that offense with how, like, I don't know where Mike McDaniel's going to go, but if he stays there in San Francisco and he still keeps, like, designing all the run plays, that 3-headed attack with even 4-headed really with Mostert coming back, I don't know if he's a free agent or not, but if he comes back, you have him, you have Mitchell, you have Deebo Samuel, and you have Trey Lance. Like the amount of things you can do in the backfield with that is crazy. So the Niners have a good future. But this game was like, it was the epitome of the Jimmy Garoppolo era. Like if you put the ball in his hands and you expect him to go win you a game, he's not going to. You just can't.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that the Niners were up 17-7. Like that just shows you how amazing the coaching staff and the defense of the Niners is too. Like that Niners defense is really good. They shut down the run, first of all. And Stafford was hit a lot, but Stafford made those big throws that, as you were alluding to, even after a rough decision with Jaquiski Tart dropping the interception, and then Stafford also threw a pick before that, but he hung in there and he made great throws. I mean, Cooper Kupp and Odell have been fantastic. And I mean, Stafford came back after down 17-7. And the Rams defense really locked up the Niners.
It's like Von Miller in the fourth quarter, he was a beast in the fourth. Like the last drive especially. I mean, he was in the backfield all 3 plays. All 3 plays he was right there.
He's always a beast in the fourth quarter.
Like he only had one pressure up until that point, and then he was just there. And it was just like, holy cow. And I mean, we'll talk about it for the preview, but like that, he's going to be so key for them in the Super Bowl. Like him and Aaron Donald, like it's just so unfair. I mean, you double team one, you have to single cover the other. And that's just not a matchup that you want. Like, I mean, Trent Williams did his best, but even the best left tackle in football, you can't hold out Von Miller for too long, especially even when he's at like, how old is he? 32, 33? Like, even when he's at the back end of his prime. I don't know. He's probably out of his prime by now, but like he's still just so dominant. I feel like one Broncos fan made this comparison. This might be like Von Miller's DeMarcus Ware like thing, like role. Like he is the veteran guy. He's the guy to take pressure off of Aaron Donald and Leonard Floyd, but he's still just so dominant.
Yeah, I could
when
see
he gets
that.
there. And that's like the back end of his career is just kind of being the mentor and winning another Super Bowl like that, which I love.
And it's impressive what he's like. All of his rush moves, really, when they get in the backfield, are him. The speed rush, and he ducks under the tackle's arms. So to have that amount of speed and get off still at this age is impressive.
Yeah.
And it works whenever he wants it to work in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So
him and I saw Von Miller led teams in the playoffs they have 6-game winning streak. So
oh wow.
That's pretty good. So yeah, I'm rooting for them in the Super Bowl because I want Von Miller to get a ring. I don't know how many more chances he'll get. I want Stafford to get a ring.
That's the other thing. I think it's super impressive, and on his legacy wise, like the first time Stafford actually has a decent team around him.
Yeah,
he goes to the Super Bowl, and granted, this is a pretty amazing team around him, but still, he clutched up and made these playoffs have been amazing for Stafford.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's really played his part well. So
yeah, I mean, we talked about it like the really back half of the season. We were like, can you really trust Matthew Stafford in these big moments? And the answer is yes. He has been able to show that you put the ball in his hands, he's going to be able to make a play. This game, he did have a couple tough decisions. I mean, the first interception in the end zone, I don't think it was a bad throw or bad decision. I think that was just good defense. But the Jaquiski Tart dropped one. That was rough.
Yeah.
I don't know what he saw there, but they still were able to win even in spite of some pretty bad decisions. So, I mean, it's gonna be a very interesting Super Bowl. Like we haven't seen a Super Bowl like this where two, I guess, underdogs have made it.
Yeah, this is super cool. This is
wild.
Like both both sides, like the number 3 seeds, 1 through 3, whatever, top 3 seeds.
Yeah.
Took me forever to get that out. Top 3 seeds in each conference did not make the Super Bowl. It's both number 4 seeds, which is super cool. I mean, I haven't seen the Bengals obviously win a playoff game in my life, so
Yeah.
I haven't seen them in the Super Bowl. The Rams, they've been, St. Louis has been there, but like they're a pretty new team, to be good too. So this is cool not to see the Patriots or the Chiefs or whoever in there.
I there was a stat. It's like the last 18 Super Bowls have included either Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Roethlisberger, or the 49ers, which is like, whoa, like there's just been so much consistency. And this is the first time in so long that it hasn't happened. So I'm excited for this. This is also the first Super Bowl where I like don't have a true vested interest. Like,
oh yeah, I know. I don't have like a Tom Brady needs to lose this game. Like,
oh my God, the last year's Super Bowl Bucks Chiefs was hell for me. Like I was I
hated both teams.
Like if anything either side did, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But this one's gonna be the complete opposite. Like I'm just hoping for fireworks, and I think we'll get it. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah.
When you look at it like from a football standpoint, like the Bengals, like they don't make sense, man. I don't know how they're here. They have gotten dominated at the line of scrimmage for 2 straight games. They got sacked 9 times against the Titans, and the Chiefs put constant pressure on them, and they couldn't run the ball. But they won. They outplayed them still somehow, and I think that shows how good. That shows how good Joe Burrow is. That shows how good the complementary pieces outside of the offensive line are. But I mean, Von Miller and Aaron Donald are different than any players that they've played so far. Like they're
I mean, different. That's the first thing to look at is, and Leonard Floyd is pretty good too.
Yeah, he's had a very good season.
So all 3 of them coming at that horrendous offensive line. I don't think there's one player on that offensive line where like Bengals fans like want to bring back. Like, literally every single player is just horrendous.
Yeah, they might have to do a complete rehaul in the offseason.
Like what the Chiefs did basically.
Yeah,
that was super impressive what they did. But and the Bengals will have to pull something off like that. But yeah, it'll be that, and then obviously Burrow's gonna make some plays like escaping the sacks and throwing it to Higgins or Chase or Boyd or whatever. So I'll make those plays, but I think the Rams need to run the football based off what you saw with the Chiefs, just completely torching the Bengals D line. And I know the Chiefs offensive line running the football is like the best in the league, but the Rams are pretty good too. So see about that. And then Stafford, I think, just needs to, I mean, he'll make his plays too. But, the past 2 wins for the Bengals have come down to the defense making plays with interceptions and stuff. So if Stafford doesn't throw an interception, the Rams will probably be in a good spot.
It's all going to come down to the Bengals defense. Like I think that the Bengals offense can make plays against the Rams defense, because like the Rams defense, we've been saying it the whole time, like they've gotten a lot of timely plays from a lot of players, but in a game like this you need star power and you need like the stars to make plays, and they have 3 of like the top stars with Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald and Von Miller, but like whoever is Jalen Ramsey's not guarding is probably gonna have a mismatch. Like T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd against Darius Williams, like I'm gonna take either of those guys against Williams.
Yeah, same.
So
and I think Ramsey's been like manning up the best receivers.
Yeah.
Like he was manning up Mike Evans, and I'll probably man up Jamar Chase. So it'll be interesting. Like, do they double Jamar or do they just let Ramsey do his thing, and help off on the other receivers? So that'll be super fun. Jamar against Ramsey. And yeah, the other thing I want to say is I think like it's super cool how both of these teams got to the Super Bowl building their teams in complete opposite ways.
Yeah.
Like the Bengals just use draft picks and, take two studs, Burrow and Chase, and Mixon a couple years before that, and Higgins a couple years before that. And then they make these like low key signings in the offseason. Like Von Bell has been amazing. Eli Apple somehow is good. And then Trey Hendrickson, that was a splash move. DJ Reader was a great signing. And then you look at the Ram side and they're like, no, we don't want the draft. We want proven stars.
Yeah.
And trade all the picks for Ramsey and Miller. So yeah, I mean that's super cool.
It's very cool, but it shows that like both of them work. Both of those ways work.
Yeah, and that's why football is just so like amazing.
Like there's so many ways that you can win games. Like both of these ways are worked, and both of these ways you can call them the right way. Like there's no right way to win a Super Bowl. You just
and it's different than basketball because it's like basketball you can buy your way to a championship.
Yeah.
Fairly easily.
Yeah.
But it's like different with football. Like, yes, the Rams bought their way here. I didn't even mention Stafford, but like, I don't know. It's just different than basketball just going because like you need like in basketball, you can just have like 2 or 3 good players and boom, you're in the conference finals. Football, you need everyone to be good. So I don't know.
No, you're 100% right. Like the 2 completely different ways of thinking, and both of them working. It's so cool. Like it's why football is so good. It's why it's so fun to watch. Like I think that football at its peak, like these last 2 weeks of NFL games, the last 6 NFL games that have been played have been so. I mean, it like better than anything sports since like the 2016 finals. Like like it's been incredible. I mean, you look at like the first game of division weekend is Bengals Titans, and it's a great game. It's phenomenal. Then the next game is Niners Packers, and that was also a great game, but in like a different way. And then you go to the
there's so many different ways.
And then it's Rams Bucks, and that's like, oh my God, what in the world just happened in this game? And then it's the best playoff game of all time. After that, it's like, holy cow.
I'm watching Bengals Titans over any single NBA playoff game that happened last year. And it's not even like close. Like, I just think the NFL, as you said, like at its peak is, even when it's not at its peak, I still think it's the greatest sport in the world. So, and because of, as you said, there's so many different ways to win games and build teams. And like I saw this poll put out on Twitter, and I think it got a lot of votes. Like, what's more important, like the best player on a basketball team or the quarterback of a football team? And it's the best player on a basketball team because like you only need, like LeBron James took that horrible Cavs team. Meanwhile, you got Jimmy G making conference championships left and right and Super Bowls. So it's just super cool because you can have you need a well-rounded team. And, you had Stafford, a great quarterback, stuck in Detroit, not able to win anything. Yet LeBron in Cleveland is in the finals.
I mean, it's like, I don't know how people even thought that a quarterback was more important. Cause like you look at it and it's like 1 out of 5 versus 1 out of 11. Yeah. Like
1 out of 22.
1 out of 22. Really. Yeah. Like 1 out of 5 is better, obviously. So, it's and I think that both of these games as well, I think they both showed something that you have been preaching for a while. Like you said, a lot of people just look at the game, they see who won, and it's, oh, the quarterback did good or the quarterback did bad. Like, I don't think that this game was on Jimmy G. I think that it was just the Rams played better. Like, as a whole, the Rams just played better than the Niners. And it's the same thing with the Chiefs. Like, if you say this game is on Patrick Mahomes, like, you're just stupid. Like, it was not on Patrick Mahomes.
Machokes.
And you think that if you think that the Bengals won because of Joe Burrow, you would be wrong. They won because
oh my god, it's
of the defense.
So many people are still like that.
And like you just
pissing me off.
I don't know what.
Like they literally, I saw like a tweet that got like 20,000 likes about like Patrick Mahomes folded under pressure, like something Tom Brady doesn't do or whatever. It's like, did you not just watch the game 2 weeks ago? Yeah. And then you look at the replies and literally, dude, there's actually people out there who think that Brady came back in that game, like, and they're serious about it. Like they think he is the reason why. Like it's not the quarterback. It's usually never the quarterback, really. That is usually never the sole reason you won the game is because the quarterback. Like, dude, so, I don't know. These people are. It's so weird to think like they're actual people. Like, like I could just have a in-person talk with them and. You know, it would be so easy, but on Twitter, they find every little stat and every little thing to counter the point. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. So preview time or picks time. We just did preview. Picks time. The big one. Last game. We're not going to do anything for the Pro Bowl because it's the Pro Bowl. No one cares. So
we get to finally see Patrick Mahomes in a Pro Bowl. Like the first time in like 5 years.
Yeah. First time since 2018, you're gonna be able to see the Pro Bowl. Yeah. I hope he's in like the skills challenge. That'd be hilarious.
Oh, dude, that would.
To see like him versus Lamar Jackson and be so funny.
Oh my god. Lamar Jackson, the Pro Bowler over Josh Allen. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw one person was like, screw it. Like Joe Burrow said, screw it. If I can't make the Pro Bowl, none of you guys are making the Pro Bowl. He just took them all to the Super Bowl.
I know. You see, Mac Jones made the Pro Bowl.
Really?
Yeah, it was just announced today as like an alternate. But it's like people are like comparing it. It's like Mitchell Trubisky in the Pro Bowl. So,
dude, Trevor Siemian got it.
I know. I don't think he ever played though, Siemian.
He had surgery. I wanted to play so bad, but he got
surgery. I think if you look on like his Wikipedia, it says he's like a one-time Pro Bowler.
He's a Pro Bowl alternate, probably. Like,
yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh.
I don't know. The Pro Bowl is a joke, so yeah, we don't have to.
Maybe next week when we talk about basketball, NBA as a whole.
Yeah,
we'll talk about our full picks. We'll try and get an accumulation of what our.
Dude, imagine if like Mahomes throws like 2 picks in the Pro Bowl and people are like my frauds in the Pro Bowl. If people like actually took the Pro Bowl seriously, that'd be so funny. Like, dude, did you not look at Tom Brady's Pro Bowl stats in 2007?
There were Jazz fans last season, like actually using like Rudy Gobert's stats in the All-Star game is why he was better. Like, dude, are you serious?
Oh.
Like, he's like, oh, Rudy Gobert had 24 points and 10 rebounds. Jokic had like 8. I'm like, yeah, because Jokic doesn't care.
Bro, it's so stupid. And like they actually use like All-Star game MVP for Giannis is like a serious accolade.
Like, no one cares.
It's so funny, dude.
Yeah.
MLB All-Star game is actually like that's the one thing that could matter because you're actually trying. And you can't just not try because then you'll strike out.
Yeah.
So like Vladdy hitting a home run off of whoever was pitching is impressive.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, all the other things don't matter.
Yeah. All right, pick. This is the last one of the season. Last one until August, which is crazy.
Yeah, that sucks.
I don't know. I'm leaning Rams. Because I think they're better overall. And I think that there's no way that the Bengals are going to get dominated at the line and somehow win again. Like, I just don't think that that's physically possible. So I think that's going to be the key. I'm making a pick. Von Miller's going to get his second Super Bowl MVP.
Hey, that would be lit.
Because he's going to be, if he lines up on the left side and he goes against the right tackle, I mean, he's going to get 10 sacks in the first quarter.
Dude, who is there, right? It's Isaiah Prince. Bro. Ohio State legend.
Dude, I'm sorry. He's so bad. He might be the worst right tackle.
Dude, that was an Ohio State takeover, by the way. Von Bell, Sam Hubbard forced the fumble, Eli Apple, Ohio State takeover.
Joe Burrow.
Defensively. Oh, yeah. I'll claim Joe Burrow.
You can claim Joe Burrow. I'm pretty sure he has a degree from Ohio State.
Yeah, he's literally graduated from Ohio State.
Yeah.
Notice how the one team that didn't have an Ohio State player, the Chiefs, lost.
They don't have an Ohio State player?
No. Like the Rams got Jordan Fuller, even though he's not playing. He's got the Ohio State aura around him. That's why they won.
Yeah.
Sadly, Nick Bosa couldn't. But
the school spirit.
But anyways, all right. What's your score prediction?
Oh, score prediction. I mean, it's got to be close. Like that.
Oh yeah, because every other game is close. It's gonna come down the wire.
Every single game is close. The Bengals have played 3 games that have ended on the last play, basically, in the postseason. Like, I can't even imagine how stressed Bengals fans have been in this postseason.
But to be honest, like if I was a Bengals fan and we lost that Chiefs game, like I wouldn't even be mad. Like I'm proud.
Yeah. Exactly.
To be a Bengals fan. So obviously I would be super nervous, but like it's not like I feel like Chiefs fans might be even more nervous because like the expectation is to reach the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So, but
no, it's really similar to the like when the Nuggets when they were coming back from 3-1 against the Clippers the second time, I wasn't nervous in any of the games.
Oh yeah,
I was like,
this is fun.
We're not supposed to be here anyway. Like, might as well just ball out. So that the Bengals have very much bubble Nuggets energy. So, but bubble Nuggets had to end at some point. So, unfortunately, I think the Bengals run ends here. Score prediction is tough. I'm gonna go 28-23.
Wow, interesting score.
I think that
is that a scoreagami?
Maybe in the Super Bowl it could be a scoreagami, but I'm gonna call it. Evan McPherson has a rookie moment. He misses an extra point. I'm going so specific on this. Evan McPherson misses
it's good though. It's the last game. We need to go specific.
He misses an extra point that forces the Bengals to go for 2 at the end of the game. So wait, no, hold on. I don't know if the score lines up.
So it'd be 28-27.
No, so it would be 23. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out how this would work out. No, okay, score would have to be 22. Hold on. I'm trying to figure So I was gonna say, like, he misses an extra point. They have to go for 2 and they don't get it. So if they went for 2, if it was 23, it would be 25-28.
Oh, okay.
And then they could get the possession. Instead of kicking a field goal, they'd have to go for a touchdown. They wouldn't be able to do it. But
wow, no Joe Shiesty in the final drive. He's not gonna score a touchdown.
I don't know. You know what? Screw it. I'm going. You know what? No. Evan McPherson doesn't miss an extra point. This is changing it again. He doesn't miss an extra point. But the Bengals go for 2 to make it 25-28, but they don't get it. So it stays 23-28. And the last possession, instead of being able to go for a field goal to tie, they got to go for a touchdown. And it doesn't work.
Joe Burrow throws a pick.
It could happen.
All right, so I'm taking this. What do the script writers want? I'm thinking, dude, because you can go from 2 different angles. Matthew Stafford coming from a horrible team.
Yeah.
Gets to this amazing team and he wins his first ring and everyone's happy. Or
you lean into
Joe Burrow is the next Tom Brady after Brady retires.
Ooh.
Burrow is he's a slippery Tom Brady is what he's playing like.
Mm-hmm.
Which even though I hate that, it's a compliment. Okay. Tom Brady is the top 3 quarterback of all time.
That is
okay. Okay, I actually like taking it from like a football. Dude, I don't know because like the Rams I think are better.
Yeah.
I think could like outplay them or whatever, but dude, like the Bengals just
they seem like a team of destiny at this point.
I know, and
like, I don't know what can stop them.
Yeah, and like that seems like cliche, but it actually seems like true. So
like it's like the Eagles when they won the Super Bowl, like they had Nick Foles, but like they weren't gonna lose that Super Bowl. Like they weren't losing.
Yeah, they just don't lose. Like you can never. The Bengals should just fight. So yeah, they're not gonna get put down. But I'm thinking Sean McVay, Zach Taylor. McVay is better.
Yeah.
McVay seems like the ultra competitor. He's 0-1 in Super Bowls with Jared Goff as quarterback. This time he's got Matt Stafford. Rams win 27-24, I guess, basic score. But I'm going to say it's like a field goal game like that. And I don't see offenses getting into the 30s. So
that's why I think both defenses, I think they make plays.
Yeah.
Yeah. The biggest thing for me is that the Rams don't turn the ball over, and they don't give the Bengals any extra possessions. If that happens, then the Rams are going to win. But if the Rams start coughing it up, if Cam Akers has the voodoo inside of him like he did against Tampa, and Stafford kind of goes back to how he was to end the regular season.
Dude, I'm telling you, bro, Joe Burrow has this voodoo, man. Patrick Mahomes just turns into horrible in the second half, and Ryan Tannehill throws 3 picks.
Dude, that is actually true.
Like, why? How? It makes no sense. How does Mahomes go from being the GOAT to playing like that in the second half?
That is true. We will see. Man, who's your Super Bowl MVP?
Dude, it's tough. It is most likely the quarterback.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Cooper Kupp.
Super
Bowl MVP.
All right. I'm sticking with Von Miller. He's gonna become the first defensive player to ever get 2 Super Bowl MVPs.
Dude, that'd be so fire. Gets like 3 sacks, forced fumble.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
If the thing is, right, if the Rams win, obviously I'm gonna be happy. I love Von Miller. I would love for him to get a Super Bowl ring, another one. I love Odell Beckham. Obviously love Matt Stafford. Like I think that it would be a good story for them to win. They have a lot of people who you were rooting for on that side. But I mean, if the Bengals win, like if the Rams win, I'm still gonna be like sad because the Bengals are such a fun team to root for.
Yeah, I know. They are.
Like
they haven't won a Super Bowl yet.
Yeah, they haven't. I just like, oh man. Like I don't know if you ever can have a run like this.
It's the Cincinnati freaking Bengals. Why are they? It's weird. But
this is tough. It's like, oh man. I'm sticking 23-28. 23-28 Bengals or Rams. This guy made a bet at the end for the championship game. I don't know if you saw it. He
the final score.
Yeah.
So yeah.
$20 turning into $600,000.
Got both scores right. It's insane.
That is insane.
It wasn't even like the scores were like that outrageous too.
Yeah, they were like pretty basic scores.
Yeah.
27-24 and 20-17. Like, man, that's insane.
That is insane. I don't know how you just place a bet like that, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Some of these bets people do, like, how do you even think of that stuff? It's like they'll do like Bucks 2021 championship win, and then they'll do like Deebo Samuel over rushing yards in week 7. It's like, why do you think to parlay of both of those things? And
it's so weird. Sports betting is going huge. My sports marketing class is going heavy. Yeah. Shout out Professor Foley. Shout out Kev.
and ours, whatever that class is, sports. The one we have tomorrow.
Advanced issues in sports and media.
Yeah. That's a lot of gambling talk too.
Yeah. No.
But all right, we both got the Rams, both similar-ish scores.
Mm-hmm. There's gonna be a Super Bowl that is gonna be different than one that we've seen. Like the vibe is just gonna be completely different. So
yeah, it's gonna be so fun. Yeah,
it's gonna be really fun. Yeah, like literally, this is the first time that I don't care about who wins, like ever, like legitimately ever, since I started watching. Which is such a relief. It's such a relief for me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like even in like any like sporting event, like when the Dodgers were playing in the World Series in 2020, I was like, please, not the Dodgers. I was rooting so hard for Tampa. And then I didn't want the Astros to win last year. Like I didn't want
I didn't want the Suns to win.
Oh my God, I was so happy when the Bucks won.
Yeah.
Hockey, I mean, I guess hockey. Actually, hockey, I didn't care, but hockey's still a little. I'm still getting into
who won in hockey? Was it Tampa Bay?
I think it was Tampa. Yeah. It's so weird. They played the Canadians, and Montreal was like good, but this season they're like the worst team in the league. I don't know how that happened. Really? Yeah, they're horrible. I don't know how it happened. Maybe we'll start getting into hockey too. I'm watching the Avs.
Maybe. I am too. I watched Avs Bruins. Mm-hmm. It was like 3-1 Bruins, and the Avs came back in the final 5 minutes.
I saw that.
Cale Makar. I have no idea what these awards are called or anything, but Cale Makar seems pretty good.
Yeah, Cale Makar is good. I know the Norris is defense. I think the Hart is like the MVP basically. The Norris is like best defender. There's one for like whoever scores the most points. Venezia, I think, is goalie.
Okay.
But I don't know. Hockey and baseball are like similar. Like I'll watch the baseball playoffs, but like if the Avs aren't playing a game in the hockey playoffs, I'm not gonna watch it because I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, I have no idea who any. I don't no idea who any of these players are.
Yeah,
I could name the Avs roster, like most of it.
Yeah,
I guess.
But like
thinking
any
about
other
maybe
team,
not. Like,
even like the good teams, like I have no clue who's good. I only know the Avs. Dude, some random Russian dude with like 2 vowels in his entire name and like 19 consonants. Like I don't know how to pronounce that.
I know. I know like the Carolina or not the Florida Panthers are like the other best team in the league.
Yeah.
Like second, but I cannot tell you.
I don't know who I'm
like give me I know Sidney Crosby, I know Alex Ovechkin, I know Connor McDavid. God, there's just one other guy I know.
Is it Austin Matthews?
Yes.
Yeah. That's it for me too.
McKinnon, obviously, and then the Avs roster.
Yeah. I know the
Avs. And then Grubauer, he's a Kraken now, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, I know all the former Avs from like 2018. Like I
still don't even know that. Oh, dude, I know one guy like Taves or something, not on the Avs. He was a Black Hawk.
Jonathan Taves, yeah. Like I know like the big names, like
PK Subban.
I know PK Subban. I know.
Is he even playing anymore?
I think so. I think so. I just know him. He's like the one black guy. That's it. That's the only reason why I know who he is.
Evander Kane.
Dude,
I know. I had this one friend who was a Sharks fan, so I know like him. I know, dude. There's this one super old guy with like a gray beard, Joe.
Oh, Joe Thornton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then there's another Taze guy on the Sharks. I don't know if these Taze guys are the same people. Like, is the Avs Taze guy the same as the Blackhawks? Or
no, okay. They're different.
It's like 3 Taze guys.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're the same or not.
Yeah, there's hockey. There's a lot. There's a lot to digest.
Yeah,
but it's fun. It's so entertaining to watch.
I finally figured out like the point system. Like the standings. Like, I finally figured that out like a week ago. I'm like, because I thought it was like goals at first, and like I thought it was goals, like how many points you score. I'm like, how does it make any sense? Like, how does the best defensive team like get in the playoffs?
Yeah. And
then I figured it out. It's like 2 wins or 2 points for a win, and then is it 2 points for an overtime win? I'm still confused about that. Or is it 1 point?
I think it's 2 points for an overtime win, and then
1 point for an overtime loss.
An overtime loss, yeah. I think.
And then a tie is okay. This is the other. How do you get to a tie? Like
there are no ties. The third digit in the loss column is overtime losses.
Oh.
Yeah.
So isn't there used to be ties?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Damn.
Maybe.
I thought that was literally ties. Wow.
No, it's overtime losses. Because even when
why do they even have that? Oh, because I guess it counts as 1 point. Is why they have that.
So when overtime ends, they go into shootout.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's why I'm like, how do you get to a tie? Because I know there's a shootout.
Yeah. And the shootout goes forever until it's like ending. Yeah. There's a lot.
Okay, that makes sense.
It took me so long to actually figure out how to describe the offsides rule.
I have no idea what that is, and the icing rule. I have no idea.
I still don't know what icing.
They call the icing rule when like the team like shoots the puck to the complete other side. But I don't know what like the rule is for that.
Yeah, it's confusing.
Mm.
Like I first started like heavily watching when they did their bubble, and like I was so confused. Like I was like, oh my god, what is going on?
There's like the blue line thing that matters a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know, but the other fouls are pretty like self-explanatory, like tripping and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like the power play penalties are pretty self-explanatory. But yeah, maybe we get into hockey just because I would tell you I would not care at all about how hockey if the Avs were bad.
If the Avs weren't good, I would not give a crap. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the fact that they're the best team in the league for the second straight season, that is, I feel like that's enough for us to get into it.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, we have to talk about it. Talk about the other three. We might as well talk about hockey. So, yeah, there's another long episode, but a lot to talk about. They're finally going to get shorter after the Super Bowl. We promise. We're going to start spreading them out. Be on the lookout for the live stream. We're going to try that out. We don't know how it's going to work. We've never done it before, so it's a new thing. And yeah, so thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like the video, leave any suggestions for something you want us to talk about, comments, and yeah, peace.